Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the December Personnel Committee meeting. So I'm going to return this to Mr. McLemore. And can we do Ms. Lazarski's item first?
Yes, Mr. President. So that's item.
I can't help you. Caitlin, do you know the number of your item?
I think that, well, there's two. There's, I believe, the SMOA.
No, we're going to do
Yeah.
the SMOA in exact.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the
1
other,
point.
it's down towards the bottom. It's the abolish and create.
1.15.
Thank you. Okay, you want to say what it is, please, Mr.
So-
McLemore?
Thank you, Madam President. Item 1.15 is a resolution to abolish a one FTE cook manager position and create a school lunch manager two position.
Board members, do you have any questions for Ms. Lazarski? No? Thank you. Let's move on. Let's start up at the top, but not number 1, 2, or 3. I guess we're starting at 4.
Yes.
1.4,
1.4.
please.
I can't see. Item 1.4 is a resolution to approve CSE and CPSE chairperson appointments. And this is, this person will be replacing another person.
Board members, any questions? Yes, Mr. Wolf.
What would be that person's responsibilities?
So this person is to chair meetings, Committee on Special Education meetings. And those, there's a group of vested interest parties at the table that have a particular student's interest at heart, and they will be discussing, or they discuss the program and anything related to the IEP for a particular student. And so this person will be chairing those kinds of meetings.
So, for my own education here, so will this be specifically geared toward individual programs or
It's for students who either are going into or are in special education.
okay.
And the Committee for Special Education meets on individual students, and it's a group of people, and parents are included.
But it's very specific.
Very specific.
Okay, that's what I needed to know.
Okay, Ms. Green, do you have a question?
No, I was just wondering if somebody met with her to make sure she's like qualified and stuff, because they didn't say anything, I'm just asking, that she was interviewed or whatever, she was, and that was one term, she was vetted?
Mr. McEnroe?
Yes,
Okay,
yes. The person had an interview for the position. So
okay.
they're qualified to chair meetings.
Next time, can we have Mr. Baer here so that he can answer questions a little bit more knowledgeably than
Yeah.
me? All right, let's move on to 1.5, please.
Good job. Item 1.5 is a resolution to approve Schedule J appointments as listed.
Board members, go ahead, I'm sorry, Mr. McEnroe.
So you see that there's a variety of Schedule J appointments there, IST, National Junior Honor Society, and the programs that are listed there. Those people will be appointed to those programs.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead, Ms.
This is down in Yonkers, south, I mean, this is south of the high school, but, Edwin Casada, is superintendent in Yonkers, so he's coming up here?
No, that's the name of their honor society. Their honor society, well, maybe not, I don't know, who is?
Because I'm thinking that's, because Edwin Casada is the superintendent in Yonkers.
Go ahead, yes, ma'am.
It's not Superintendent Casada, it's actually his son who works for our district.
Is what?
His son who works for our district as a counselor.
Get out! This is
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, they
Okay,
need a junior on there. I'm just saying, like, cause I know that name. Okay.
Miss
Son,
Mr.
okay, I
Walker,
got
do
you.
you have any questions?
No.
Thank you. Mr. McLemore, you know, Schedule J is a long list of items. How are you doing in knocking those out? Are we close to being finished with those?
We have a lot of the positions filled, where we still have some more that need to be filled.
Thank you. Let's move on to 1.6, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Item 1.6 is a resolution to approve the appointments for the Palmville data team. And so this is tied to their set, and you'll see that there's a particular focus that the team is going to focus on, and they're going to focus on the strategy and commitment to. So that's directly tied to their set and what they're going to be working on.
Yes, sir.
I'm a little confused. What is the strategy and commitment to what?
It's TWO. It's not TOO or TO. It's,
I'm afraid I don't know what those.
I don't know what it is either. Does anybody have any idea what that commitment to is?
Not without looking it up, Madam President.
So, while we're meeting, do you think we can get somebody in, maybe Mr. Brown or somebody that would know what that?
I'm looking it up now.
Okay, thank you. So let's move on and we'll jump back. When you're ready, Ms. Peterson, just, holler and say you're ready. Let's move on to 1.7, please.
Thank you, Madam President. So item 1.7 is a resolution to approve the appointment for the systemic synthetics phonics program. And again, that's also tied to the building set. So person will be working on that as it relates to the set.
Any questions on item 1.7? Yes, sir?
Yeah. Please excuse me. But I don't know what that means. No. I know, Mr. McLemore, you know what it means.
Nay.
I need you to break it down a little bit more to me, please.
So, Mr. Walker, I wish I did, but I would have to research it.
It's a phonics program that the school
Okay.
wants to use in order to improve student achievement.
All right, then it makes sense.
And it is tied to their school comprehensive educational plan,
All right,
one of the tenets of the plan.
I just didn't.
No, it's good that you asked. I
Question.
bet you there's people that listening to this that don't know what it is.
Right.
either. So, Ms. Green, do you have a question on this?
No, I was gonna add, it's also tied to their SCEP, which is this, she said a school comprehensive educational plan, so.
Thank you. Let's move on to 1.8, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Item 1.8 is a resolution to approve 21st century appointments as listed there.
Okay.
And this will probably be on every meeting as predicted.
And this is GAMS, Vailsgate, Bonneville, and Horizons.
That's correct.
Those are the 4 schools. Mr. Walker, do you have a question?
No.
How about you, Ms. Green? No. Okay, let's move on to 1.9.
Thank you, Madam President. Item 1.9 is a resolution to approve English language learners school homework help program appointments. And so this is going to be support for the English language learners in ELA, algebra, global history, and learning living environment. So it's going to be one hour after school from December 15th through January 19th.
Looks like for regions.
Yes.
Mr. Walker, do you have a question?
Just a brief one. I'm wondering how that is connected to curriculum and instruction and development.
Well, I think they're preparing the students for the regions using the curriculum that's there. Yes, go ahead, Dr. Farrell.
Yes, definitely. It is tied completely to the course work and the curriculum alignment. It's a review program to help our most needy English language learners be successful in their core content as they prepare to challenge the regions.
Okay,
Thank you.
just ask.
Ms.
No.
Green, do you have a question? Dr. Farrell, this is for you. Can we make sure that those students have appropriate glossaries for the
Yes.
Regents test?
Yes,
And we're not scrambling the day of?
we will.
Thank you.
Ms. Beata was with us today. She's aware of it.
Thank you,
and
Dr.
It will
Beata.
happen. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to Saturday School, Saturday Academy.
Thank you, Madam President. So, Resolution 1.10 is a resolution to approve the English Language Learners Saturday Academy appointments. So this is going to be an enrichment program, and it's going to be 10 sessions, approximately 4 hours per day, and that will serve to support the English language learners.
And
So-
again, this is connected to curriculum development as well as the promotion of English language fluency in oral language for our students, and it's funded by Title III.
Thank you. Ms. Green?
They're getting these students from several schools, or is it focused on any particular school or
Our core high
Dr. Piazza?
for high schools?
Yes, thank you. It is, the invites are sent to all of our Ls, KA, and it's a.
Okay, through A.
Yes, and
Okay.
it's on a first come, first served as we receive the invites.
Okay,
How many are you planning? How many students are you planning for?
Usually we receive that around 300, so we're planning for that if we get all the personnel that we're asking for. We're on a certain post, so hopefully we get all the teachers that we need to run it as planned.
okay.
Thank you. And yes, sir.
First question is, can you please explain what Title III is? I think I-
Okay, Title III, you're on.
It is our federal funds that are tied specifically to our English language learners.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So part two is, considering English language learners. And I'm wondering if, and I'm old, I admit it,
No, you're not. No, you're not.
you know, we had English language learners. I had, so, who simply had not been correctly introduced to how the English language is structured, how essays are structured, how essays can be interpreted through structure, and you get the meaning through structure. So I'm wondering if two things. Number one, if what you just explained to me covers that. And number two, is it covered in the regular classes as well? Because I believe from the time that I taught, there were a lot of students who needed English language learning who are native speakers.
This,
That's two questions, so let's let Chastity start with the English language learners, formerly known as LEP.
Okay.
Okay, so start with that and then we can go to you.
Do you mind? I was focusing on your second question and
Mhm.
forgot your first one. You mind asking the first question again?
Oh my God.
So I
I-
understand.
Is it part of the regular, is it part of the regular classroom? You wanted to know if that,
I can't hear you.
if it was part of the regular classroom, that if they were learning that material as part of their everyday learning, that's the first question.
Yeah, because I see it as two-pronged.
Right.
Okay. One that we have students who may have, who English may be secondary. And then we have students whose English may not be, quote, acceptable.
Well, let's stop for 1 second. This particular one is for English language learners, those people who are identified by the nice flat,
According to state regulation.
right? And so that's where the money comes from, is Title III. So
Okay.
Title III can only service those students.
All right. That's what I needed to know. All
Okay,
right.
so now you.
however, you are correct. Many of our native English speakers who are not non-native English speakers also struggle with this work. And we have other programs that support them, and it is also covered within the regular classroom structure. But that does not mean that they perhaps don't have greater needs, and we do address that, for example, through our Regents Review course.
Okay. And excuse me, because I'm out of the loop, you know.
We're very much in the loop.
You know, but my question is concerning the second group that you discussed. Has there been any kind of follow-up to see how those programs that you just mentioned, how effective they are?
Yes.
And, you know,
Last year, the district ran Saturday Regents Review as well as after-school Regents Review work, covering many of those same concepts, because it's very important that our students be able to demonstrate their oral fluency in written language also.
okay.
The results of that work, as well as the Regents exams, have been broken down and disaggregated to inform the instruction that happens both in the classroom currently, as well as in our current Saturday review and after-school review classes.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
now I'm gonna have to cut you off unless it's about the English language learners, because we've got to move on. Okay, thank you. So, do you have a question, Ms. Green? Thank you. Let's move on to 1.11.
Thank you, Madam President. Item 1.11 is a resolution to approve assessment writing appointments. This was approved at the last meeting, so we're just adding, additional, and another appointment for math. That's all.
And the subjects on this are
Grade 7 and 8 assessment writing common assessments.
for math
For
or
math,
for math?
for grade 7 and 8 math only. Person who was going to do their work has dropped out.
Okay.
This is such.
Mr. Walker, do you have a question on this item? How about you, Ms. Green? Okay, let's move on to 1.12, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Item 1.12 is a resolution to approve digital citizenship appointments. And so this is just to add an additional appointment.
Yes, ma'am.
What is,
Mhm.
digital citizenship E?
Ms. Anderson.
So the state is going to require in all core content area what the attempt that we're trying to do actually right now. So digital citizenship is building awareness of how students interact with the internet. It's also a learning standard that New York State Education Department is requiring and is expecting us to embed in our core curriculum. This additional person that we're adding actually is a person that helped build the guidelines for the state. So this was something she kept in her pocket. When she found out that we were doing it, she had missed the posting and she wanted to be a part of it. It's something that we've already started to embed K-5, and we hope through this grant, we're going to be able to update all of our curriculum with digital learning standards.
Mr. Walker?
well, no, I'll be quiet because
No, no.
I have more of a comment than a question.
Well, you can make a comment.
I'm concerned that, there was K-5, which is good. But I'm also wondering what happens to those junior high and especially, because that's my heart, 11th and 12th graders.
Right.
Are they out of the loop? Is there something that picks them up if they don't need it, or it's just a fun?
Yes, so the teacher that we're actually adding is a secondary teacher. We're embedding K-5 this year, and then we're growing throughout. So currently, the instructional support facilitators that have signed along with digital media specialists from the library and English teachers are currently building the curriculum and activities to be embedded on the secondary level. So it's something that has to happen K-12, and we're actually fortunate that the Learning Technology Grant is allowing us to do this work.
And so is there a timeline where you expect to cover all?
So the state is requiring that digital learning standards be embedded into our curriculum by the fall of 2025. And this program and this rollout that we've been using is something that we've been progressively working so that by that time we'll have it all embedded K-12.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you have any other questions, Ms. Green? Let's move on to the next item. That's 1.13, please.
Thank you, Madam President. So item 1.13 and item 1.14 is the same resolution, but different people. And so it's a resolution to create and abolish, um, resolution to create and abolish a position and approve a school nurse teacher appointment. And what this is that uh, when we can't find, there was an agreement between the district and the union at the time, years ago, where we weren't able to find school nurse teachers. So the agreement was we could hire RNs, and then at such time when they assumed their school nurse teacher position, then they would move on this the teacher salary schedule. There's two different salary schedules: RN salary schedule and school nurse teacher salary schedule. And so once they received their school nurse teacher certification, they moved from the RN salary schedule
Yeah.
to the teachers. So that's what this is. So we're abolishing the RN position that they were sitting in, creating we're
Nurse
creating
schedule.
a school nurse
Okay.
teacher for them to go in, and then we're abolishing the RN position.
So any questions on those two items? Thank you. Let's move to item 1.16, please.
Thank you, Madam President.
1.15.
We did that. That was Caitlin's. We did that before.
Oh, okay,
No? Yes?
Yes,
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Yes.
We most certainly did.
okay.
Item 1.16 is a resolution to approve conference request, and Dr. Farrell is here to speak.
Yes, this is a conference request for our local yeshiva, using their Title II funds. These are administrators in the program. They will be attending a conference.
Any questions on that item? Let's continue to 1.17, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Item 1.17 is a resolution to authorize the superintendent to execute an agreement with Mount St. Mary College. Dr. Farrell will speak to that.
This is a parent training program to support school readiness at home and literacy, in conjunction with Vales, Bombville, Kidney Avenue, and Horizons. This is funded through a 21st Century Community Zoning Grant.
Ms. Green, do you have a question? How about you, Mr. Walker?
No.
Thank you. Let's move on to 1.18, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Item 1.18 is a resolution to approve conference request for secondary. Dr. Farrell.
This is a conference to have Mr. Dolan, who is our soccer coach, attend a national conference to improve his skills and increase his value in our district to our coaching team.
Questions? Ms. Green, do you have a question on this one? Will Mr. Doolin be expected to turnkey
Yes.
and train other coaches
Yes,
on
he
stuff he wants?
certainly will. It will be a turnkey training.
Thank you. Let's move on to the new.
Thank you, Madam President. Item 1.19 is a resolution to approve a new course request. Dr. Farrell.
This is to add, American Sign Language to our repertoire of foreign languages. It is approved by the SED to meet our LOTE, requirement for our students. We hope to be able to offer this course at NFA grades 9 through 12, and at Heritage grade 8 and South grade 8. We have a staff member currently who is obtaining certification, and should be ready to make application for the position once it's posted for September. We hope to expand this program and grow it. It's a very viable alternative for our students, to add to their foreign language studies, and Dr. Beato can discuss it further if you have any other questions.
Ms. Green, do you have a question?
Yeah, are they gonna offer it to adults?
We are actually looking at adding that to our adult CTE offering. If we
Okay.
can find an instructor who's ready to do so.
Okay.
How about you, Mr. Walker?
Love it.
So I have a question. I love this idea. I love the idea of adding another language, period. But under staffing information on the bottom of that form, I'd like to suggest that the teacher look at that and redo it because it's not correct. It should be about herself, not about what she's gonna teach. It doesn't say what her major is, when she graduated, and some example. They want to know the pertinent background of teaching, not of what she's going to teach. So that needs to be refined before we do anything, bring it to the board, because that's misinformation. So I think because this is so critical, this is a really good course, it's gonna be great for kids. And it's gonna be great for kids that can't learn a second language. This might be really super for them. I think that we should make this as perfect as possible when it goes out.
It also can attract students who have another way of learning,
Absolutely.
have a different perspective and can pick it up, and I just love it.
So, okay, so,
Yep, we will rework this.
thank you.
Thank you.
Go back. Let's go to item 1.20, please. Oh, that's
Madam-
executive session.
Yes. Madam President, before you go there, I have some mentionables.
Okay,
So sometimes the postings don't align with the personnel meeting. They're kind of off, depending on when they close. So just to mention, there might be some additional appointments that you might see on the board meeting. Subs for night school, subs for elementary school, after school appointments. There might be some additional staff appointed to the Empire program or the Saturday Rock of the Regents program. Some sub teachers for RISE. There's another appointment for a custodian and the chief custodian.
thank you. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
I have the answer on the sub.
Oh, good, thank you.
Okay, so as a part of their staff, Bombell has made the commitment to making sure that they are going to be able to build appropriate instructional interventions that support students. So the data team is going to use their Panorama survey, which is a survey of their social emotional learning, and align it with some of their academic data and have a comprehensive MTSS program. So people that are going to be appointed to this position are going to merge some of the Panorama and academic data, and they are going to develop a consistent data collection that can be shared with staff.
Do you have a question? Any other questions?
Well, I just have a comment.
Okay.
It's simply that I think what you're talking about is fantastic, but in alignment with this, I wonder if there's a possibility that we can let our students within the city know about these upcoming things so that we can start to hire them, so they can have an objective to look forward to when they go for higher education, knowing that they can come here. So it's not a criticism or discussion, but just, I think, in addition to that, how we can let our students know that that in this city, we are preparing a way for other people and them as well. Because I don't like the idea, I'm tired of the idea of other people coming in and then our students not even knowing what's going on.
Well, I think it would be good for all students to know what's going on.
What's going on
Yeah.
and how they can prep for a career that could let them stay here.
Thank you. So we're going to go into executive session at this time. So Caitlin, we're going to call on you first. So can we close the door?